And Dr. Herman, could you make somebody else, please, a co-host that can help me to let people in? Because when I'm doing the PowerPoint, I cannot really do that.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Namaskar. And hello, everyone. Yes. Good to see you all again. Aarti, we are missing you today.
Couldn't make it. I'm sorry.
David and Sissy and me we were talking about you. Yes. Nice.
Yeah, so the sound was gone for a moment. Yeah, sorry, couldn't make it today, but maybe next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Today we
Looking
met
forward to it.
Yeah, Anya's parents. Yeah, we met to your parents. Very nice people. Nice. So, now we are in the process how to use the remedies, the different remedies. We understood, we discussed about the few remedies in the last week. And today we will talk about few more, like Toxigo or gas mukti and mukti and others, how they work, because of which ingredients, and what are the actions, what are the properties are responsible for those actions, when to choose which one, when we should select Toxigo and when mukti. Couple of ingredients are similar. So how to decide? Today we will understand from Dr. Komal. And before that, thank you everyone to adjust in the schedule change. Instead of the next week, our call was supposed to happen the next week on 15th of October. Because some personal reason, we requested all to prepone it, and you all supported. Thank you for that. So handing over to Dr. Komal and Cornelia for today's session about few more remedies, few more ingredients related about wind, vata, ama, condition like apan vata especially, how it works and what are the herbs, ingredients and herbal remedies. And towards the end, we will have the question answer session like always. So maybe you all will note down your questions, maybe from today's session or maybe from otherwise, whatever the questions from the last sessions or experience. Maybe you had some different experiment in the last week or before. Please. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Komal.
Yes. So we start with our prayer. नमामि धन्वन्तरिमादिदेवम् सुरासुरैर्वन्दितपादपद्मम् लोकैर्जरारोगभयमृत्युनाशम् धातारमीशं विविधौषधीनाम् च व्योमवातावनिवारिवह्निम् पञ्च प्रपञ्चात्मकदेहभाजम् सन्तापसम्पातजराज्वरान्तकम् नमामि धन्वन्तरिमादिदेवम् नवीननीलमुदकान्तिकान्तम् शान्तं हरैर्वादशमाख्यमूर्तिम् पूर्तिं शतानां सुमनोरथानां नमामि धन्वन्तरिमादिदेवम् Om Shri Dhanvantaraye Namaha. So after seeking blessings of the Siddhaveda lineage, Vaidya Jivaka, Pankaj Sir, Baba Ramdas, Shri Smita Madam, my Guru, Sadguru Vena Bharati Maharaj, we start with our today's session. So today we are going to learn about same what we have learned previously in the same pattern, but today there will be some different herbs and some different herbal supplements. So today's herbs are Kutaj, that is the scientific name. In the bracket, there is the scientific or the Latin name. So it is Hollerina antidysentrica. Then Bilva, the name is Eagle marmelos. Then Dhana, Coriandrum sativum, Saindhav, sodium chloride. And the herbal supplements that we are going to learn are Toxigo, that is the Aam Pachak tablet, Dairo Mukti tablet, and Gas Mukti tablet. So we are going to learn how these herbs, they carry out their action with the help of the rasa, virya, vipak that they contain, and how the herbal supplements help to pacify the different kinds of disorders. Yes, next slide. So the first herb is Kutaj. So in the picture, you can see the specific shape. How to identify the different herbs is by the different shapes and sizes. Like see, there is a specific pattern of the leaves. There is a specific color of the flowers and a specific shape also to the flowers. So accordingly, we identify the different kinds of herbs. So Kutaj, the Latin name is Hollerina antidysentrica, and the English names are also given here. That is the ester tree, the Conasi bark, or Kurchi. So these are the English names by which it is referred in different places. So it will help you to identify these herbs. Next slide, please. So as we are going to learn the herbs in this pattern of rasa, virya, vipak, and then which dosh it pacifies and which dhatu it pacifies. So Kutaj, the main rasa or the main taste is bitter, that is tikta. Then astringent, that is kashai rasa. Then the virya, that is potency, is cold, that is sheath, and vipak is pungent, means katu rasa. So because of this rasa, virya, vipaka, Kutaj helps to reduce or pacify the pitta and kapha doshas. And it also acts on rasa and rakta dhatu. So whenever we are learning about the herbs, we have to understand what is first the rasa, virya, vipak, and basically the virya, that is the potency by which the vanaspati or the herbs, they exhibit different kinds of actions. So here Kutaj helps to reduce the pitta and kapha dosh, and it also acts on the rasa and rakta dhatu. That is, as we have known about the 7 tissues, Rasa is the plasma. We can correlate it to plasma, and Rakta, as we know, is the blood. So Kutaj helps in these dhatus, these tissues, and these doshas. It has many more actions, but predominantly we have summed up the main functions of Kutaj here. Next slide, please. So now what are the actions of Kutaj? See in the picture, you can see the flowers of Kutaj. They are so beautiful, white color flowers. So the thing to identify Kutaj is by the color of the flowers, which is white. So Kutaj helps to stimulate the digestive fire. So whenever there is low digestive fire or or Agni Mandya, which is the main cause of every disorder, so Kutaj helps to stimulate the digestive fire. And also very importantly, it controls the liquid nature of stool. That means whenever there is excessive expulsion of liquid from the body through the anus region, which we call as diarrhea or dysentery, so Kutaj, because it is cold in potency, it helps to control that excessive flow of liquid outside the body. This is the main function of Kutaj, which is called as the Stamban property due to its cold nature. Stamban means to obstruct or to control. That's why Kutaj is predominantly used in conditions like dysentery and diarrhea, or we call it as loose motions also, where the excessive liquid flow comes out through the feces. So Kutaj helps in these conditions. Also, it is useful for amoebiasis. So some infective conditions, so conditions like amoebiasis also, Kutaj helps in that. And also in skin issues, as we saw that Kutaj helps to pacify the pitta dosh, the kapha dosh, as well as the rasa and rakta dhatu. So it also helps in different kinds of skin disorders. So these are the main functions of Kutaj. Next slide, please. So now what are the Ayushakti products that contain Kutaj? So here you can see in the slide, the pictures are given. So the first tablet, Toxigo, which is referred to as Ampachak also, the Ampachak tablet or the Toxigo tablet. So the quantity of Kutaj in these tablets is given. So it is 150 mg. Then the Diromukti tablet and the Metaboost tablet, which is also called as Suruday. So these are the 3 tablets that contain Kutaj in different quantities. The quantity is given in the slide. Next slide, please. So first we will study about Toxigo or Ampachak. If you look at the name of the tablet itself, that is Toxigo or Ampachak, here we can know that this tablet is designed in such a way to digest the toxins or to remove the toxins from the body. So Toxigo, the main function is to remove the toxins. So what are the contents by which this tablet helps in expulsion of the toxins from the body is because it contains these herbs. See in the first column, the herbs Kutaj that we are studying now, the main herb. So Hollerina antidysenterica, you can see it is present in the largest quantity, which is 150 mg. Then the next the next herb is Atasi. So Atasi is another very important herb which we are going to learn in the next coming sessions. The Latin name is given. So Linum, so it is a little difficult to pronounce. Linum uceatissimum. So spare me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. 100 mg, the quantity is. Then Indrajav, another species of Kutaj, Hollerina pubescens, 70 mg. Then Gambhari, Melina arborea, that is 50 mg. And Shunti, the very important Shunti, that is Gingiber officinale, which is again a foremost and the most important whenever the digestion of toxins or expulsion of toxins or stimulating the digestive fire is concerned. And the quantities are given in the third column. First, focus on the contents of the tablets. Okay. Then if you can remember the Latin name, that is fine. And then quantity, if you remember or don't remember, that is fine. But at least you should first remember the contents by which the tablet is doing the action. And in this tablet, Toxigo, and remember by the name, Toxigo or Ampachak. So the main content is Kutaj, and it helps in digesting the toxins, which we'll learn in the next slide. So next slide, please. So see, what are the indications of Toxigo tablet or Ampachak tablet? So the first indication is Ampachan, that is digestion of the Amadosh or toxins in the body. And we now all know that the formation of toxins in the body is the first criteria or first thing that happens in the body whenever the disease process takes place. So whenever there is or toxins in the body, it may result gradually into the formation of different kinds of disorders. That's why removing this or removing these toxins is the first and foremost treatment principle that should be followed. And this tablet, Toxigo, helps in doing that, digesting the toxins. Second indication is whenever there is diarrhea. Now, diarrhea can be due to different reasons. It may be due to, eating something wrong, following the wrong diet and lifestyle, which affects the digestion. So mainly whenever the digestion process, whenever the digestive fire, it gets imbalanced or disrupted, then there is a formation of disorders like diarrhea. So Toxigo can help in diarrhea. Dysentery, again, as I explained, that because of the content Kutaj, and Kutaj because of its potency, that is cold, it controls the excessive movement of liquid from the body through the feces. Then flatulence, because we saw right now the herbs of Toxigo, like there is Shunthi, there is Kutaj, there is Indraja. So all these herbs, they also help to relieve the excess flatulence in the abdomen. Then the bodily arm, the toxins with symptoms of blockages. As we know that it produces blockages in the channels, in the srotas. The concept of srotas we are going to learn in the next year. So there are certain channels in the body through which the circulation of the dhatus and everything takes place. So whenever there is a formation of toxins in the channels, then there is an obstruction and then there is a disease formation. So Toxico helps to remove that obstruction, remove that and also relieve symptoms like lethargy, swelling, and heaviness. So these are the indications. Next slide, please. Yes. So if we just calculate the overall property of Toxico, because of the contents that it contains, so it will be warm. Why we are saying warm here is because it is not too hot or it is not too cold. It is in between or midway between cold and hot. That's why we call it as warm. So overall property is warm. Then the dosage is for adult 2 tablets twice daily. For children or pediatric conditions, it is 1 tablet twice daily. There are no contraindications as such for prescribing this tablet. So just remember property warm, the dosages, 2 tablets twice daily for adults, 1 tablet twice daily for pediatric conditions. Next slide, please. So now we even learn better the case study on the Toxico tablet from this case study of this client, Sachin. So he had many digestive problems, like we can see flatulence, improper bowel movements, etc. That means the digestive fire was affected. There was excessive production of in the body, that is toxins in the body, by which he was feeling lethargic, heaviness. He had gained excessive weight and inactiveness and everything. So because of that, he came to Ayush Shakti. And when he came, his Ayush Shakti Vaidya observed that the main cause was the Amadosh, that is the toxins. And we have learned how to identify from the pulse as well as from the symptoms. So these symptoms like lethargy, excessive weight, indigestion, digestive problems, they suggest that there is production of arm in the body. So after examination, he was advised to take the herbal supplements, mainly Toxigo, along with other supplements, but the main, because we are studying Toxigo, so Toxigo was the main supplement that is called as Ampachak, along with a customized diet and detox plan. So in the first month, he lost 6 kgs, and this toxin removal helped him to feel more energetic. So in the picture, it is quite evident, the first picture and the second picture. So this, his bowel movements were better, his indigestion was relieved, the flatulence, the lethargy, everything was relieved. And he continued the treatment for 4 months to reduce the arm completely. This is also very important. Whenever we are treating, whenever we are prescribing something to the client, as soon as the symptoms go, that does not mean that we stop or the client stops taking the medicines or something. There should be a period of how much time we should give the medicines is till the time the digestive fire, it becomes normal, the doshas, they become balanced, and the dhatus also get balanced. Only when there is no symptoms, that does not mean that the problem is gone. No, till the digestive fire becomes normal, we should calculate that it may vary in different individuals. So for this particular client, the treatment was continued for 4 months to reduce the arm completely. The symptoms were relieved, but again, to reduce the arm totally from the body, the treatment was given for 4 months, and he continued to follow the lifestyle and diet changes to maintain his health, and he was benefited. So this is a very nice case study to learn about Toxigo or Ampachak tablet. Next slide, please. So now we come towards the second herb today, which is Bilva. Again, a very, very important herb. It has great uses, and the Latin name is Eagle marmelos. You can see the picture, very nice picture in the background of Bilva, and the fruits of Bilva are there. They are very big fruits, and the English name is given Bengal quince. Yes, next slide, please. So the main rasa or main taste of Bilva is pungent. So it is katu, bitter, tikta, astringent, kashai. So mainly Bilva is pungent, bitter, and astringent. The virya, that is potency, is hot, that is ushna. Vipak is pungent, that is katu rasatmak. Dosh, it reduces the kapha and vata dosh. And dhatu, it acts on the rasa, rakta, med, and majja dhatu. So these are the properties of Bilva. So we can see here the potency of Bilva is hot, that is Ushna. The Vipak is Katu, and because of this Rasavirya Vipak, Bilva helps to pacify or reduce the Kapha and Vata dosh, and it acts on Rasa, Rasa, Rakta, Med, and Majja Dhatu. So these are the properties of Bilva. Next slide, please. Then the actions of Bilva, it stimulates the digestive fire. Again, it controls the liquid nature of stool. Again, Bilva is having this action because it also controls the liquid nature of stool. It is useful in conditions like dysentery and diarrhea. So same properties like Kutaj. It also controls fat metabolism. This is also very important. It calms the irritation of nerves, and it is useful in diabetes also. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti product that contains Bilva is Dairomukti, and you can see the quantity of bilva in Dairomukti that is given 75 mg. Then Madhunil, that tablet is called as Diber. Then Ayursid, or it is also referred to as Gulcasid, and the quantities are 50 mg and 41 mg respectively. Next slide, please. So Dairomukti, we can see the main contents, that is the Bilva Magaj Ghan, that is the Latin name Eagle Marmalos, Kutaj Ghan, that is scientific name is Holarina antidysentrica, then Indraja, Holarina pubescens, Ajwain, again very important, Ajwain, Tachispermum ami, Shunti, Gingiber officinale. So these are the contents of Dairomukti. We can see in this Bilva is the main content. Kutaj is also there, and because of these properties, Dairomukti and Kutaj, Dairomukti helps in diarrhea and dysentery, and the quantities of Bilva and all the other herbs are given. Next slide, please. So indications of Dairomukti. Dairomukti helps in conditions like diarrhea with or without mucus. We know that diarrhea is of different types. It contains mucus. It is with mucus or without mucus. So Dairomukti. If we look at the word itself, Dairomukti. So that is freedom from diarrhea or dysentery. If we look at the meaning of the word Dairomukti, it is a Hindi or Sanskrit word. So it itself suggests that freedom from diarrhea or dysentery. So Dairomukti is help to relieve diarrhea, dysentery, the abdominal pain, gastritis, all these conditions. Next slide, please. So previous slide. The overall property of Dairomukti is hot. It is hot in property. The dose in adults is 2 tablets twice daily, and in children it is 1 tablet twice daily, and contraindications are not there as such. So overall property of Dairomukti, we can say it is hot. Next slide, please. So the case study regarding Dairomukti, this is a client, Rakesh Kumar. So for more than 2 years, that means it was very chronic, that he was having frequent episodes of loose motions several times a month. And we know that if there is excessive expulsion of the fluids from the body, it creates weakness and low energy. And it also affected him socially. His social life was also affected. So he came to Ayush Shakti, and his Ayush Shakti Vaidyas, they examined the conditions and determined that his stomach was upset. That is because of the low digestive fire and the toxins, and he was having improper digestion. So he was advised to take herbal supplements like one of the herbs, Dairomukti, and a customized diet and lifestyle changes. So in the first month, he had 60% improvement. So with that, he felt hopeful, because see, these conditions, having frequent episodes of loose motions over and over again, it affects the person's social life as well. And it creates it affects the mental faculties also. And the classical case of this is IBS, that is the irritable bowel syndrome, which has been increased since the last decade. There are so many clients of IBS, and they are so mentally affected and also socially affected, because they cannot carry out their work, because they have to go frequently to pass the motions, and there is no fixed time for that. So really this affects people socially, and this tablet Dairomukti has excellent results in such cases. So this client also felt very nice, and his problem was relieved. And after 8 months, he was feeling back to normal, and all his social stigma and everything, the mental sadness and everything was gone. So again, Dairomukti has a very great role to play. Next slide, please. So next is dhana. So the Latin name is Coriandrum sativum, and the English name is coriander fruit. So very beautiful leaves. Everybody, I think, knows coriander. It is, we can see in the slide. And the seeds of coriander. Again, this is a very integral part of our herbs, herbal remedies, the home remedies, the kitchen formulas, and everything. So coriander is a very integral and the main, I think, basic herb. Next slide, please. So the rasa or taste of coriander is pungent, katu, sweet, that is madhur, bitter, that is tikta, astringent, that is kashat. And virya is hot or ushna. Vipak is sweet, or we can say madhur. Dosh, it reduces all three doshas, and that's why we consider it as every remedy. Coriander is a part of almost all the remedies, like I told you, be it the kitchen formulas or the herbal remedies or the home remedies, everything, herbal supplements, the coriander is there. And it acts on the dhatus like rasa, mausa, meda, and bajja. And very easily available also. Coriander is a very small plant and it is available easily everywhere. Next slide, please. So the actions of coriander are, it increases the appetite. So whenever there is toxins in the body, the first thing that is affected is digestive fire, and because of that, even the appetite also goes low. So coriander helps in increasing the appetite, improving the digestion, and it is also useful in bleeding disorders. It is also useful for urine retention and dysuria. So conditions where the urine, that is the mutra, is affected, coriander is very, very useful in such conditions. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti product that contains coriander is Gas Mukti, and the quantity is 55 milligrams. Supachak, that is the Super Digest tablet, which we have learned last time. So the quantity is 52 mg, and Chandra Prabha also 2 mg it contains. So this is Gas Mukti, Supachak, Super Digest, or Chandra Prabha. Next slide, please. Now we study about Sendho. Now the Latin name is sodium chloride and English name is rock salt. Now, when we study about different kinds of medicines in Ayurveda, there are three sources from which we acquire the different types of medicines or herbs and everything. So which are these three sources? So the first one is the plant source that we call as Audbhida Dravya. That means everything that we obtain from the plants. Right now, whatever herbs we have studied, they are all from the plant origin. The second source is the animal origin. We know the very famous cow's ghee and the honey, the milk, everything is a product that we get from the animals. So it is an animal source. And there is a third source that we obtain medicines from, which is the Parthiva Dravya. That is those which are obtained from the earth element. And Saindhav or salt is that source that we obtain from the earth. Okay, that is called as a Parthiv Dravya. So very, very again important, we can say a medicine as well as a diet, everything. It is used everywhere. So the Latin name, as we know, sodium chloride, and English name rock salt. Next slide, please. So we know, need to guess what is the rasa or taste of Saindhav. It is salty. It is one of the best examples of salty taste or lavan rasa. Okay. Virya is cold, that is sheath. Vipak is madhur, and that is sweet. And dosha, regarding the doshas, it reduces all the three doshas, but it should also be used in moderate amounts. and we know that we use very little salt is required. And dhatu, it acts on the rasa dhatu, the mausa dhatu, the majja dhatu. Okay, predominantly it acts, actually everything acts on every dhatu and doshas, but here we have put up the things which it acts predominantly upon. Next slide, please. So the actions of Sendhav are: it increases appetite, it improves the digestion, useful for different kinds of eye problems, that is the vision problems. This is very important. Then useful for cardiac issues. It relieves muscle cramps. We know that Sendhav or salt is again an integral part of our daily lives also, without which the normal body functions cannot take place. So this is very important again. Next slide, please. So the Ayushakti products that contain Sendhav, you can see in the picture here, they are gas mukti, and the quantity is given. Arshana tablet, Meta Boost. Till now everybody knows that Meta Boost tablet is also called as Suruday. We should know both the names. Some names are used here in India, some are used outside. Okay, the names are different. The tablet is the same, like that. So gas mukti, Arshana, Meta Boost, or Suruday tablet. Next slide, please. So now we will study about gas mukti. Now see again, the tablet name itself suggests what is the main function that it carries out. If we look at the name itself, gas mukti, mukti means freedom, and gas everybody knows, the flatulence and the indigestion problems. So mukti means freedom, freedom from all the gas problems in the abdomen. Okay, so by that name, by the primary function that it carries out, that's why it is named in such a manner, gas mukti. Now, what are the herbs that it contains? So they are coriander, that is dhana. The Latin name is Coriandrum sativum. Then Sendhav, sodium chloride, haritaki. Haritaki we have learned last time again. Haritaki is a herb. Everybody recollect last time what we have learned about haritaki, how many rasas it contains? It contains 5 rasas, except which ras? Anyone can answer?
Salt.
Very good, excellent. Except salty taste, haritaki contains all the 5 rasas. So Latin name is Terminalia cebula. Jirak, Cuminum cyminum, Hingu, Ferula narthex. Okay, we have learned this in the previous session. Now here we are focusing on coriander. Okay, coriander is again, we can see the quantity in milligrams, 55 mg. So it is present in large quantity in gas mukti tablet. Okay, and then Sendhav is also there. Today's 2 things that we have learned, the coriander and Sendhav. Next slide, please. So indications of gas mukti, if we look at the herbs also, we can tell that indications are first again to relieve the gas, as the name suggests. Then the abdominal distension. Abdominal distension can again happen due to various conditions, predominantly due to the vata dosh, going haywire, and the apana vayu, very specifically the apana vata dosh getting haywire. Then the abdominal pain, again due to the imbalance of vata dosh in the body. For these conditions, we can use gas mukti tablet. Next slide, please. So now, if we calculate the overall property of gas mukti by the herbs that it contains, so it is hot in property. The dose is 2 tablets twice daily in adults. Okay, and in children 1 tablet twice daily. There are not as such any contraindications for gas mukti. Last time, whatever contraindications we have learned in the previous session, I hope you have revised it and remembered it. Okay, next slide, please. So now with the case study, even better we can know about the gas mukti tablet. So here is the client, Narendra Kumar. So he was suffering with digestive issues like gastritis, abdominal pain, and constipation for over 5 years. So again, a very chronic condition. And after he took so many medicines, he was not getting any relief. And then, as most of the people do, they try different things, then they come to Ayurveda. Some people, they come as a first thing also, but there are rare people like this. So he came to Ayushakti. The Ayushakti Vaidya, they observed that his Apana Vata dosh needed to be balanced because it was totally imbalanced. He was advised the herbal supplements like Gas Mukti, a customized diet plan, and lifestyle changes. So Gas Mukti was one of the herbal supplements made along with some other. And in 1 month, he had 80% improvement. So he had no more abdominal pain. His motions were good and his gastritis was also greatly reduced. And he continued his plan for 6 more months. See, again, now here we have to understand that as soon as the symptoms go, that is not the time where we have to stop the tablet or we have to ask the client to discontinue. No. What we are aiming in Ayurveda is, we have learned the objective of Ayurveda is to balance the dosha, dhatu, mala, the agni, remove the arm, that is toxins. So when the client comes to us, definitely we have to relieve him from his symptoms, whatever he is suffering from. The symptoms should go, but that does not mean that the balance is now acquired. For that, we have to work still for some more months, and then we balance all the dosh dhatu malas. We make the digestive fire stimulated, ignited, proper that functions properly, and remove the toxins, and then that client will not fall sick again. So like that, you have to understand. Next slide, please. Okay, so this comes to the end of today's session. So again, in this session, we have learned about, again, very important herbs. All herbs are important. So first, slowly learn about the herbs. Okay, then go towards the herbal supplements one by one. Write it down. Writing is the best way to remember. This is from my personal experience that I'm sharing. And go through it many times. The number of times you go through it, you will remember. And see, if you put so much hard work in learning these herbs and herbal supplements, again, that is my personal experience, is that whenever we work hard, or we have this dedication and discipline towards our work, then as soon as the client comes, the things strike. We know, yes, this is the thing that should be given, and then it works also very nicely, and then the client is also benefited. So put in as much hard work and dedication as you can to get better results. And the challenge activity will be, I think, described by our wonderful Cornelia. So Cornelia, now I hand it over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamal, for another amazing presentation. And now we learned quite a bit more about Apana Vata and the disorders and what to do about them. And again, the challenge activity for this week is that we use one of the herbal supplements and observe its effect during a month. And that also might be you yourself or one of your clients that you can actually use it on, and then just observe what's happening. And then, of course, again, share your experience in the PASS group, in your own little group. So we have already 3 people raising their hands. So Deborah Ann is the first, and then we have Deborah Kainen as well. So we have 2 Deborahs here, and both have raised their hands. Deborah Ann?
Thank you, Dr. Kamal. It was beautiful. My question is to get a handle on the difference between the Toxigo and the Mukti. I'm going to relate it to, I had family visit. Both of them had upset stomachs. One of them, I mean, just by looking at her body, has a lot of the other does not. And my guess, as from what I've just a little bit I've learned today, is that that the one that had the AMA was the Toxigo that would have been most beneficial for her, and the Diromukti would have been most beneficial for the other, based on something they ate. So the question is, treating a condition, 2 tablets twice a day. I understand that, but if you have an acute condition that shows up, could you use these tablets, and how would you use them?
Good understanding just from one small session. Wonderful. Very appreciate. Very quick grasping.
Thank
you. Yes. The main difference between the Toxigo and Diromukti. Toxigo helps to digest the AMA. This AMA may be in form of it is in the stomach digestion related. Maybe this AMA as a block in the heart. Maybe it's AMA as a myome in the womb. Maybe this AMA in the joints. Anywhere, when there is an AMA, we use Toxigo. Diromukti helps to binding the stool form. It gives the proper formation. When it is a more liquid type of motion, stool, diarrhea, then it helps to give the proper formation. It helps, it has a binding ingredients like a bilva, cottage, helping to binding. Normal dose is 1+1, but depending on the frequency of the stool and type of the liquidity, if it is total liquid, multiple times, 4 or 5 times in the 1 hour, maybe we need to give more dose. That depends on the each individual situation, case to case, it differs. Maybe sometimes we need to give all these 3. Means Diromukti. Then normally this diarrhea, loose motions are happening because of some AMA. So we need to use Toxigo as well. And most of the time we experience that because of the diarrhea or AMA, there is some vata, wind, cramps, spasm in the stomach, colon. So we need to recommend gas mukti as well. So depending on the situation, but this is the combination in this way to think. Good.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Appreciate it.
Good question. Thank you.
Okay, now we have Ilke and then Deborah, the other Deborah.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you, Dr. Hemang. Thank you, Dr. Kumal. It was very interesting. I have one question regarding diarrhea. in case of traveling and bacterial infection, when I want to have like a remedy if someone is traveling to the south and getting diarrhea because of some different food climate and maybe bacterial infection. Can I use Dairomukti as well, or do I have another combination?
Perfect. Dairomukti is the right one.
Okay, and when there's diarrhea, always after intake of food?
No.
So I take...
Dairomukti can be taken on empty stomach without food. Not necessary to eat food.
Yeah, but it's hot in properties. So
Okay.
What is the largest amount I can take if I'm a Peter person, I have diarrhea, I'm somewhere in the south, and how many tablets can I take over a day?
Wonderful question. Appreciate it. Now, when you have diarrhea, my priority is to fix your diarrhea. Even you have the Pitta Prakruti or not. That I can look at the letter if something goes wrong and something happens. Or maybe if I have a possibility, I add Ayurveda into along with the Dairomukti or whatever the herbs are given. I don't care at that time of the Pitta directly. Of course, it is important to keep in mind, but first priority to fix this condition. And for that, I can give 8 to 10 tablets maximum a day, Dairomukti.
Thank you. Perfect.
But when you give Dairomukti along with Gas Mukti, it always gives the better result.
Perfect. Thank you so much for clarifying that, Deborah, and then Sanjay.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Kamal. Thank you, Dr. Hemang. So I have a question. I was just trying to understand. I thought when Dr. Kamal was talking, she said the kutaj, if I'm saying it right, but was cold. So the cold had something to do with controlling the blockages. So that's how it stopped the diarrhea. But then we also said bilba, which was hot, also controlled diarrhea. Was it by a different mechanism of action?
Yes. When we are talking about kutaj, as I told you, why kutaj is doing that is because of the potency. And bilva, as we know, there is some prabhav. We have studied about prabhav of some herbs, right?
Oh, okay.
And because it is also kashaya rasatmak, the astringent taste. Again, astringent taste is also something that helps in blocking or helps in obstructing. So like some now just listen about this principle that some herbs, they do their actions by the predominance of rasa that they contain, some by the vipak, some by even the prabhav. So because of that, okay.
Thank you so much. That helped a lot. And one more quick question. Dairomukti, is that also the same name for the United States?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Good question. Bilva is one of the best ingredient to give the formation, binding, grahi, is giving the like a control. Okay, so it's a good. It works like that way. It is there in the Dairomukti because of its the special action.
Perfect. Thank you, Sanjay, and then Afsena.
Thank you, Dr. Como, for the lecture. My question is regarding bilva. There's on the slide, it says it calms the irritation of nerves. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, because it acts on the nerves is also. That's why there is a oil also. That is some oil of bilvadi oil. It is also used in certain kinds of nerve disorders or ear disorders also. So that has been seen that it also acts on the level of pacifying that the nerves, or we can say the vata dosh, as it acts on all the three doshas. That's why. So that is why.
Do you think it'll help with nerve pain?
Yeah, definitely. That's why it is prescribed. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Afsena.
Thank you very much. Just to clarify, how soon, if somebody has diarrhea, from what I've learned in the past, is that diarrhea is caused sometimes because of an infection or something wrong. So you don't want to stop it immediately. You want to wait for 24 hours. And then you can, during that time, you can give rice and yogurt. Yes, this was something we learned in the 100-day training. How soon or how long do we wait for diarrhea to continue before we go for Dairomukti and gas mukti, please? Thank you.
Always with a very intelligent questions. Appreciate. When it is the diarrhea is because of the infection, no need to give or not to give Dairomukti. Let it to be out. If we help to stop this diarrhea, we are trying to keep the infection inside. When this diarrhea, because of the infection, we find or we understand from the pulse, we feel or experience heat in the pulse. So maybe in that case, we don't give that Dairomukti. We may give only Toxigo. We help them to remove it.
So which finger do we feel the heat? Is it the pitta because of digestion?
It not necessary digestion. Some infection can be any infection.
Yes.
Sometimes food poison, sometimes something else could be. So in that situation, let it be to out. Then it's good and relieved. Maybe you can give Amrut Ras along with that. It's helpful to fix this condition.
So Amrut Ras would help with if they have heat in the pores. If you feel the heat in the pores, we can give Amrut Ras. I was actually given this because after taking the herbs, I started getting really bad stomach pains because I was taking many herbs, and I was getting really like stomach pain, you know, very uncomfortable, as if my stomach was churning. And Dr. Giovanni said to me to take Amrut Ras, which helps. It's like pouring water on fire. It is such a super herb, and I've not stopped taking it. So in the case of finding heat in the pores, I'm just repeating to see if I've understood you correctly. And if they have got diarrhea, which would be the most probable sign of having infection somewhere in their body, we can give Toxigo to digest the toxins and Amrut Ras to heal and...
Yeah.
Thank you. And Dr. Hemong, which country are you in? Because I may come and see you.
Right now I'm here in Germany with Cici.
And later you're going to France, yes?
No, I came from France and then Austria. Now in this, next is Spain, then Holland.
Who knows? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Afsina. Then we have Marie and then Yasmin. And then we have still Robin and Nusrat as well. Okay, Marie.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Komal. Thank you, Dr. Heyman. It is so nice when you feel that you're going deeper and deeper in the remedies. And then I made some marks by Toxigo, digest AMAs, stomach related or in the joints, womb. And I have this lady, 90 years old, very bedridden, and I got already permission from Dr. Heyman for U-tone and ketone and pain mukti, but I am not in the neighborhood, so it is going to her daughter. And by the fact that she is crying from pain in the joints and the muscles, I want to ask if I have permission for this Toxigo, because I see that, of course, if you're lying, no physio, everything is getting blocked. So for 90 years old, what would I be able to give from Toxigo?
Yes, definitely can be given. Toxigo, yeah, we can give it.
How much?
1 + 1, yes.
1 + 1.
Yes.
They are giving the lady since 2 years morphine for the pains. And I say, why you knock the person to sleep? That is killing her softly. So I want your permission to work with the Toxigo. Yes. She is eating if you give the right food. So I start sending monk soup, but I'm not in the neighborhood. So I really want to help. I know her for a long time, and 90 years when you're smart up there, but you're crying from pain and they give you morphine, yeah, then you don't do anything anymore. And maybe half a year, then we can bury her. It's hard, but that's it. That's the way it's going, because no one has the patience to give you a bath, a cleaning if you're yelling. So we give you morphine and then you shut your mouth. And then, so I would like to work with a Toxigo.
Yes, can be given.
Metaboost?
Along with the previous recommendation, you can add this Toxigo step by step, 1 + 1, the same dose, and let her body to accept and adjust the things slowly.
Okay. I asked permission, gave out from my own bottles a little bit Restin and Bliss instead of morphine to sleep.
Yeah. Yes, but to go step by step. So many herbs together, not to give.
No, I understand.
After 1 week gap or 2 weeks gap interval, you can add something more when you see that now body is giving good response and there is accepting good, nice. Otherwise, sometimes at the age of 90, we don't know the constitution and we don't know the condition, like the strength of the body. How much her digestive system can digest and accept. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes little is more helpful.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate your concerns and willingness to help them. Nice.
Thank you, Marie. Then
thank you.
We have Yasmin and then Robin.
Hello, hi. Thank you, Dr. Komal and Dr. Heyman, for a very informative session again. I have one question. It's not directly related with the herbs, but it has some, I just wanted to check this. I've got a couple of family friends, and every time when they are traveling, it's just that they get diarrhea. So it's the anxiety of traveling causes them to have a diarrhea. And I was just wondering, I wanted to understand what's the link, why this happens, and which herb would help with that condition, please. Thank you.
So answer is in your question. It's anxiety related. Because of the anxiety, or some people have some nervous sickness. So it happens. So the best is to give or to start Brainto or Bliss before traveling, and to keep this Dairomukti along with, if something happens or something goes wrong, then to add it and to start it.
Okay, great.
Otherwise,
So
yeah.
bliss and brain too,
Yeah.
and Dharamukti. Thank you so much. Thank you. So is it which dosha is
Vata.
it Pitta? Vata. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, then next is Robin.
Good morning. My question is regarding the bilva or Bengal quince. And I just found out that there's a tree on our property that I didn't know we had, that my dad has been throwing away these pear-looking fruits every year because they weren't edible. And I'm like, I think that's a quince. So I want to know, is the quince that we have, would it have the similar properties to the Bengal quince, or how do we know when a plant that's in the same family or but maybe a different variety from what you use in India, how do we know the similar or different properties?
Yes, bilva, it has, how you can identify is it has 3 leaves. The 3 leaves are there, 1 at the top and 2 at the right and left. So that is one of the main properties to identify whether it is bilva. So if it is having 3 leaves on, we can say on one, how we can say 1 straight leaf and 2 at the right and left side, like that, 3 leaves. So one of the basic things to identify bilva is, if it has 3 leaves, then it is the right bilva. Okay. And the fruit is, as shown on the slide, it is a very big fruit and it is mainly astringent in taste. So that is the way to identify whether it is bilva or not. Okay.
Okay. And then does other fruit, other quinces have similar properties or not necessarily?
I have not come across any other variety or species of bilva as far till now. Bilva, I know, whatever bilva I know is of that one species where it has 3 leaves. So if you can check that, so the properties will be the same. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Nusrat.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this beautiful course. My question was, in case of intoxication or food poisoning, would you give the 3 herbs at the same time? And if there is some fever that comes later, what would you do in that case?
Yeah, normally if symptomatically diarrhea as a symptoms, multiple or liquid, then we need to give Dairomukti. Or else otherwise, just as a food poison, we can give Toxigo Gas Mukti. And Amrut Ras is better option when there is a food poison, toxin, heat, infection. So it helps to remove the infection.
And along with that, if there is fever and all the conditions are there, fasting, that is Langan. Okay. So doing fasting, avoiding all the solid food items, or prescribing the moon soup or light things. So that is also one of the treatment, to do Langan or fasting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nusrat, for your question and for the answer, Dr. Kamal and Dr. Hemang. Pilar.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for a beautiful lesson. And my question is about the last lesson and the 3 formulas, that is Anulon, Supachak, and Amrutadi, that seems like all of them are for indigestion and gas. And when you use one of those, when it's better to use in case of indigestion and gas?
Wonderful question.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, wonderful. Good.
Amrutadi basically is given because somebody has a very, very sluggish digestion. So if somebody is having constipation a lot, or they open their bowels say once a week, Amrutadi will help a great deal, because you can take up to from 4 to 8 tablets a night. You take it at night, and the next day you open your bowels until your colons, your intestines get used to the peristalsis, and they remove the toxins from the body. Super chalk is mainly given to people who are not, they don't feel like they have appetite, and they've lost weight, they want to gain some weight, they want to feel hungry, and they want to increase the digestive fire so that food is digested and absorbed easily into bloodstream. And annulum, I have no idea. All I know is good for digestion. I don't know if I was right.
Thank you,
Wow,
Afsanet.
wow, wonderful. Appreciate. Great explanation and perfect explanation. Anulam, as its name, bringing vata down. When there is vata going up, many reasons, many possibilities, many symptoms. Not only the digestion wise, like sometimes belching, burping. It's one of the symptoms when we feel that the vata is coming up. But at the same time, we are giving Anulam when vata is going here on the head, means anxiety. Also, it's helpful to bring vata down, calm down, reduce, bringing back. So Anulam, it's helping for many purposes. Even Anulam is helping to correct the path in the pelvic order, means the sometimes menstrual pain. It's helping to in that bringing the vata in the right correction path, like a correct way. It's helping. So Anulam is more useful in this way. Plus, it has a natural, because of the ingredient, of course, the action on the stimulation of Agni, fire. So when there is a low appetite, no appetite, then it is good. It increases the fire. So when there is too much heat, too much pitta in some people, then we should be a little careful, especially in the skin condition. Otherwise, it is good.
Thank you very much, Dr. Heman, and thank you very much, Afsanet. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, then we go to Satu and then Sienna.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And my question is a bit related to Ilke's question. I thought I got the answer, but I still want to make sure. When there's diarrhea or loose stool, is it not always related to pitta or high pitta situation, a condition? So yeah, or can it be caused by just basically? Because I thought that it's always a pitta related thing when there's loose stool and diarrhea.
Most of the time it is related with normally.
Okay. So
it's not like a diarrhea means not only because of the excessive pitta. No, not at all.
Okay.
It can be one of the reason. But in that condition, again, yeah, it's again the matter of experience, practice, knowledge, understanding, and yeah. If we find sometimes a heat in the pulse, excessive pitta in the pulse, and we understand the person is there with the diarrhea, we are giving virechan instead of diarrhea. We try, let it be to out. We support to out the toxins and heat by giving virechan. So maybe with virechan, person will have few more bowels, but all the toxins will out. The heat will out. The excessive
Okay.
fever will out, and that will help to control the diarrhea from the root cause, not the symptom.
Okay, thank you. And then I have another question that I already placed on our WhatsApp group. I would really, really appreciate if we could get the dates for the next spring Path Week in India as soon as possible, please, because the work at this end is, I really would like to have the dates as soon as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, we are working already on this, the best possible for every one of us. And as most of you have suggested, like Easter holidays and this, so most probably it will happen like that. Few challenges are there here and there. We are working and we believe and hope that everything will sort out as soon as possible. We'll be able to declare the dates and everything.
Can you estimate when would that be? Any estimate?
Yeah, most probably like somewhere in the beginning of April. But we can't right now promise, as like just as I mentioned that we are facing some challenges and we are working everything. Once everything sort out, immediately we'll announce all the details.
Okay.
But most probably it seems like it can be in the first week or in the beginning of somewhere in the April 23.
Okay, thank you very much.
And yeah, because we are also planning to have this trip and this event and this education week completely different, more exciting and more, so many different activities. So for that, we are working, planning, and seeing that everything happens. So to check those possibilities as well, that what we have idea, plan that can happen. So when you all are here, you definitely have some special thing in your hand. Normally, usual things we can give many different ways, but here we are thinking to give something special, unique. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Hemang. And so we're awaiting the official date for India. Sienna?
And maybe this time we will have so many people.
Yeah.
Almost all we want, like maybe all 110 people will be here. Yeah. Our plans are like this, exciting. If everything goes well, we have a special plan. We'll see. Okay, please.
Perfect. Sienna, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for the class. I just wanted to talk about the sand dive, which is the rock salt. So I think Dr. Komal said that it relieves cramps. So I wanted to know how do you use the rock salt to relieve the cramps with the muscles?
Would you please repeat the question?
How may I use rock salt to relieve muscle cramps?
So we have a special kind of we call it as the Svedan, that is hot fermentation therapy. So by that we use the hot fermentation, and that we use the rock salt. So hot fermentation with that. So there is a special procedure by which we do that. So the Vata dosh, can be subsided, and the cramps that can be subsided. And as we discussed internally also in the formulations, like what we have discussed, that contain the Saindav, that is also used. Okay.
Okay.
So we have both external and internal application.
Sorry, I
So
didn't
we
get
have
that.
both. There were internal with the herbal formulation, as well as external application, which would be then the hot fermentation with rock salt.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions coming up?
What is hot fermentation, please?
That is the Swedan therapy. Like, the dry up in the Swed, that Swedan therapy. Yes.
Just
And you
wanted
just
to
only put rock salt in the thing, and then you heat and you apply to just.
Along with that, other herbs also. One of the content is rock salt. Along with that, other herbs are also there, which will relieve the Vata dosh. So like that. Okay.
For example, we can add ajwain and ginger,
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely. Definitely.
I have one question regarding the rock salt. Is there something else in the rock salt compared to regular salt or ocean salt that we have? Like, is there something else like sulfur or something increased compared to sodium chloride?
Yeah, the properties of rock salt that we have mentioned here, it's somewhat little different than the regular table salt that we use, because there are still different varieties of salt or sendav according to Ayurveda. There is even the Audbida Lavan, the Bida Lavan, and according to that, the property changes. But this Sendav Lavan is medicinal one. In medicines, we use this Sendav Lavan, which is different from the table salt that we use. And it looks different also a little bit. So like that. Yes.
Yeah, I was curious because in some recipes, the rock salt is preferred compared to regular salt. So,
Yeah.
So is that because of sulfur or something in the rock salt that makes the difference?
Yeah, difference is it is sodium chloride only, but because it has some medicinal properties different, that's why. Like we mentioned, it is used in different kinds of eye disorders, or whenever we do panchakarma, the one thing that we use even for women or even for any other therapy, we use the Sendhav Lavan or rock salt. Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I got a question. Are there supplements from the old scriptures or already the updated supplements from Dr. Samita? Like the tablets, everything.
Sorry, what's the question?
Like the tablet Superchak, and like, are they from the scriptures?
Okay, good question. So all the formulas from Ayush Shaktis, all herbal remedies, supplements are available, are completely, everything, each and every formula is based on the experiment, totally is individual, prepared, based on the experience of 35 years. We keeps on changing the formulas time to time to improve the best result. We have like the reference from the scriptures for each and every formula while preparing, but not exact formula. The formulas which are available in the scriptures, that was written 5,000 years before. That time the problem was different. Human body was, the structure was different, stress was different, water was different, food was different, everything. The action and the quality of herbs also was different that time. But now we have prepared according to today's time what is actually working and not working. So each and every formula from Ayush Shakti are totally based on the experiment for the years. So that's why we are most of the time sure that is effective and we get the results. Good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question? If not, Afsena?
Sorry, just one quick question. You know, in my country, when somebody has a lot of gas in their stomach, my grandmother, my mother, we used to always be told to take rock sugar, you know, crystallized sugar, and put in it cardamom in some hot water, you know, stir it and drink it. And that makes you burp. And also because the property is hot in both of them, it relieves the pain and, you know, any belching, any burping, anything like that. It really helps a lot. I still use it together with mint, dried mint, you can add to it. Is that what Ayurveda also uses? I know Dr. Giovanni once told my auntie to use crystal sugar, but I cannot remember what it was for. I haven't made a note of that one. So
yeah, this is one of the home remedy which we use and suggest. Yeah, this is a good home remedy. So sometimes this is there, or else there is another possibility somewhere not possible this, then they can use this ajwain, dry ginger, cumin, coriander, asafoetida, the tea from this spice, and the different recipes, and the depending on the availability of herbs and ingredients sometimes, but perfect, very helpful to release the wind block. It happens many times because most of the people, because of the lots of wheat, gluten, noodles, bread, and everything, there are lots of ama, and because that the air is not able to pass through, and then it starts burping, bloating, heaviness, late night food, late night sleeps, or too much sugar, alcohol, and everything has some direct or indirect contribution to create the blockages. So most of the people need some support for the digestive system. And that is why we have taken this session about the remedies and ingredients which are useful for the digestion, supports to the digestion, like Anulom, Supachak, Gas Mukti, Toxigo, Dairomukti, Ambrutadi. These are the most common supplements which many of us, most of the clients who come and we normally recommend.
And just one more question, and then I'll be quiet. And you know, all these herbs like haritaki and what, you know, all the others, I've ordered all of them, and I just, after I ordered and paid, I thought, I wonder if I can make tea with them, like have haritaki tea, or make myself chitrak tea. Or are they not very good to have them, you know, on their own? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's possible, but at the same time, it's a little difficult to maintain or manage the dosage while making the tea. How much water exact to add, how much to boil it, and what centigrade degree like to heat to give. It's all matters. So while preparing the tablet, it is not just simply tablet, but also it matters like what temperature it was prepared in the manufacture.
Oh yes, but
So,
I mean not every day, but perhaps once a week, just to see the effect and how I feel after, or what effects it has on my digestive system. Not on a regular basis, maybe once or twice a week, because I learn better by trying something, and then it kind of stays in my head. And butter, education comes easy learn easy and it can fly. So I need my own methods to retain information and keep talking about it and teaching other people. So I remember it forever. Thank you very much, Dr. Kumar. Thank you, Dr. Lumang, and thank you, everybody. Sorry I've taken your time. Thank you.
Super, 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 super.
I have last question, please. Well, last, I don't know. But I'm just going back to the Sandan. The property is cold. And I'm just wondering whether we can advise it or recommend it in vitiated peter cases. And also because it's helpful for vision in cases of diabetes, where there's eyesight issues. Can they rather use Sandan rather than other types of salt? And also in the BP cases, can I recommend the Sandan rather than other high sodium types of salts?
Yes. So whenever there is a tablet or a formulation, it contains sodium chloride or salt. The first contraindication is hypertension. So people who have hypertension, we do not give that. Diabetes, as far as it is concerned, yes, generally we see that patients who have diabetes are also subjected and more prone to develop hypertension. So that should be used very cautiously. And yes, so I think next question was, this was your question.
Pitta-related disorders.
Yeah, Pitta-related disorders. Whenever we use Sandhav, it is used not in a very large quantity, where it can, disrupt any balance of the doshas. So only thing that should be remembered and taken care is that patients of hypertension, where there is, the excess sodium level will be dangerous. In that cases, it is to be taken care of. But in any other disorder, we can definitely give, because if it is low pitta, to ignite the digestive fire or anything, that way it will work. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kumar.
Any other questions?
Most of the things are covered well. Just to summarize again, Anulom to use and recommend, suggest to bringing Vata down when there is a burping, belching, when you think sometimes that there is a block, the air is not going up or down. When there is too much anxiety, even there is a sleeping problem because of the excessive wind, when there is loss of appetite, we can suggest Anulom. When there is a skin problem, then to be little careful, because Anulom has a hot properties. So little to be careful. But if necessary, still can be given along with other herbs like ayur seed or amrutras. Then we spoke about gas mukti. When there is a spasm, cramps, bloating, heaviness in the stomach, when we see that too much air in the stomach after food, we can say gas mukti. Also with the diarrhea, loose motion, gas mukti is helpful to control spasm and cramps. Diarrhea is useful to give formation to the stool, binding ingredients. Diarrhea helpful for the diarrhea, loose motion, It can be given normal dose 1+1, but can be given up to 8 to 10 tablets per day, depending on the frequency and the type of liquidity. If too much liquid, then we can give more tablets, and then slowly we can reduce dosage as well. Dairomukti is useful for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Many times, many people may have. Sometimes in IBS, like a today diarrhea, tomorrow constipation. Keeps on changing. That's why it's an irregular bowel syndrome. Also, Dairomukti is helpful for Crohn's, celiac, many like a autoimmune condition, Crohn's. Many times people have a very sensitive digestive system, food intolerance, gluten, lactose, that easily people get diarrhea. We can give them support with Dairomukti so they can eat the regular food. Toxigo, the other name of Toxigo sometimes Ampachak, which is useful for ama to digest, to remove the ama from the system. Whether ama is in the stomach, colon, or joints, or maybe in the form of the blockage in the heart, or myome, or any type of ama. We give this Toxigo. When there is a diarrhea, because of the food poison, because of the toxin, because of infection, inflammation, rather we prefer to give Toxigo instead of Dairomukti. Toxigo along with Amrutras works better in that situation, in the diarrhea condition, instead of Dairomukti. Amrutadi tablet is not only laxative, but it has the ingredients beneficial and helpful for digestion as well. So it helps to digest the food and to remove, and to helps to remove and to clear from the body. So laxative, but before that digestive. Four tablets every night can be taken by everyone. There is normally no harm unless the person is not experiencing the IBS or diarrhea or too many things. Normally, Amrutadi is good to have as a regular detox, daily cleansing. Amrutadi tablet can be taken for forever, because we all need to clean our system, to keep our system clean throughout the life. And we all can take this Amrutadi every night. It works as a natural, normal, basic detox, everyday detox. If we keep our system clean on day-to-day basis, then we don't accumulate too much toxins inside the body. Sometimes some of us are unable to do the bigger and proper panchkarma. For them, this kind of the process is very helpful. Dr. Naram was used to give this similar to Amrutadi. There was a detox tablet, vibrant detox. In his time, he was used to give this tablet to everyone, each one of his client. He was believing that if the system is clean, many things can be corrected easily. Supachak tablet, helpful for the digestion as well as appetizer. Sometimes we eat but unable to digest the food. We give Supachak. Some people have a less powerful digestive system. After eating, feeling heavy, ama. Food is difficult to get digested. Then Supachak is very helpful. And that is why the Supachak is there in the Panchkarma program. So people who have already experienced the Ayush Shakti detox program in Mumbai, they know that they take Supachak tablets, Supachak powders. It helps to digest the ama, stimulates the fire, it increases the appetizer. With this information, maybe this type of the concerns you find easily in surroundings with friends, contacts. Like many people we see that have a problem with the digestion, small bloating problem, heaviness, and you can suggest small things you can try with in next 15 days or more. And then next month, when we will see us again on 5th of November, then you all can share your experiences. Our next session will be on 5th of November.
Yep. So we have a little pause in between, so we have time enough to recap everything that we had in the last Saturday and today. And now that we have, that's all about Apana Vata disorders. So really you got now with what Dr. Hemang just shared at the very end, a great summary of all the supplements that we talked about. So definitely go back to this part and listen to that again. It's an amazing summary and easy maybe then to remember as well, but also listen to the full session again. And if there's nothing else, Dr. Hemang, then I guess we can say
thank you.
See you in a month.
Yes.
But keep up the good work in the meantime.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. We love you and we are with you.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you, everyone. I love you and I'm with you.
Bye, Dr. Hemang.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hemang.
Thank you, Dr. Hemang. Hi, Sissy. Hi, David.
Love you,
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Kamal.
you.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Absela.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Hey,
Dr. Kumar,
Harika.
Dr. Hemang.
Bye.
Bye.
Andrea. See you soon,
Thank you,
Harika.
everyone.
I'm here already. Come.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, I'm coming.
Dr. Kumar, we are your best students, aren't we?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone. And you're working so hard. I'm really proud of, we all are proud of all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.